when you're trying to attract clients for your coaching business and you're told that you need to be consistent for your co- when you're trying to attract clients for your business and you're trying to stay consistent on social media or on YouTube or on whatever it is, your blog, sometimes we just have to accept that we're human, because at the end of the day, we have downtimes. And every day is not one of them good days where you just want to sit in front of a camera and talk. Some days it's just not like that. Some days the thought of that can be extremely heavy, that you just end up sitting daydreaming because you're like, is this actually what I have to do today? Because I cannot see far enough. So, and before you know it, you've sat there for about 20 minutes trying to get in the mood to do content creation. And at that point, the game's a bogey. You're not doing anything. The first thing to do is you need to start to notice when you're starting to get into that ugh, sort of a mode where you're like, I just don't feel this. I can't do this. Not today. When you're starting to feel like that, it's time to notice. Yeah. The nervous system, when you're starting to get to that state, can go into a state of shutdown where it's like, nope, okay, we're not doing anything. Just sit there and do nothing. And then before you know it, anything becomes hard from that point. It becomes hard to create. It becomes hard to just do the general day-to-day things. So we don't want to get into that stage. So the first thing I would suggest is to get your nervous system in a good place and lift your energy that way. So if it's easy enough, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Once that starts to feel easy, start to wiggle your arms. Don't worry about who's watching. Like, all I've got here is the cat. So we're going to wiggle our arms, and then we're going to wiggle our legs, and we're going to just start to feel our body moving. The thing is, when your nervous system is like in that shutdown mode, your brain is not going to tell you move. So you're just going to sit more frozen in this state. So when you're actually leading with the body and getting yourself, you're telling you're telling your brain it's safe. Because when your nervous system's out of whack, then it's like, I don't want to do anything because I don't feel like it's a safe thing to do at this time. So we just keep moving. Keep the arms moving, keep the legs moving, keep the body moving, move your shoulders, move your neck, do all the things that just keep you moving. Already just from doing that, and see if you start laughing because you're like, what the hell am I actually doing here? That is good, because that's your nervous system starting to waken back up. Like, we're ready to start moving on with the day. We're ready to go out there and create content that's good. And yeah, so we're already getting there. But we need to connect our breath to our mind and our body and all that stuff as well. So just take a big deep breath in, hold it, and slowly let it back out. And what you want to do is you want to do 4 in, hold for 4, and then breathe out for 6. So breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 6. Well done. And at this point, once you do that a couple of times, aim for about 3 times. Do that about 3 times. Get the body moving, starting to bring your body back to life again. It was sitting there a bit lifeless. You're looking great, by the way. So now we're good. What steps can we actually do? Well, at this point, I would say if you've been in that stage where you're in a shutdown, this is a good time to go and do something that's not content creation. I know it sounds crazy, but what you want to do is you want to get something like an easy win in there that you can then reward yourself for. Yeah. So for me, what I like to do is I'll maybe get my camera, the DSLR out, start to take photos of the cat, start to take photos of something around the house, and then I'll take it into Lightroom, edit the photo, and spend a little bit of time. And then when I'm like, I'm happy with that, I'm like, job done. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. We're starting to get moving. We've got a little bit of a reward now. And at this point, things should feel a little bit lighter. Now, that is when you're in that shutdown phase, but sometimes life's lifing and we don't know when that shutdown phase is coming and we just have to keep going. So what I would suggest is a better option is to actually have a plan in place to help you in these days. So the first thing is to plan for downtime. Yeah. When you're in them higher energy, you've got loads of ideas, things are flowing around. Make a plan. Make plan content, film content then. Get it edited. And instead of putting out every single day, make sure you've got your baseline covered and then go back and put in extra posts. Because the thing is, if you've got your baseline covered and then you take a dip the next day, it's all good. We're sorted. We don't need to worry about it. But if you just are just thinking like, oh, I'll just do daily videos, and then the next day, one day you come, like right now I'm on a sprint with YouTube, which I'm going to do a video on once I'm finished the sprint. But there's like today I was like, I'm not feeling this, but I thought, right, I'm on a sprint. It's only a short-term thing. Let's do it. And I got myself into it. But if you're doing daily videos, spread these out. Spread them out. Do your baseline first and then go back. And then maybe pick up daily videos if you're still feeling that high energy. What that means is that you've got that content planned for the rest of the month or the rest of a couple of months or however long you want to plan it out for. That if you do take a down season during that where you're like, oh, not today, that's okay. You can be human. You can rest. You don't have to think about it because you've got your consistencies there. You're showing up. And the thing about consistency, as much as it's good for algorithms and it's good for social media platforms, it's also good to show up for your audience because they get to see you and they get to feel your energy on a consistent basis, which means that they're just waiting maybe at the time for you to say the thing that they need to hear. And then when you say it, that's when they come on board. But if you stop posting content, they could just be sitting at that point waiting on you just to say the thing, and then you never say it. So having that base of content, having that plan for the downtime, then if you want to come back and do daily, then that's good. But at least you've got your basics covered. Another thing that I find really, really, really helpful is to reduce the friction. Yeah, you'll notice that I am in a place now where it is literally talking to a camera. I've got a little light on at the back. Except from the last video, I didn't actually put it on. I was like trying to rush it. But I've got a light at the back. I've got my window in front of me. We're getting spring, so it's lighter for a longer, so it gives me a longer window to actually film videos with natural light. But I do have a light if I need it. But that's friction. Then my editing, it's cutting the gap away at the start, cutting the gap away at the end, and then maybe if I'm like spending too long in between things, maybe just trimming that a little bit. But listen, basically watch it one way through, cutting out all the wee bits as we go. I save the video, it gets uploaded, the thumbnail gets captured, and then it's put on and it's done. Yeah. I think I've got my process down to about an hour or 2 hours for YouTube videos. So it depends on how long that video is and how many mistakes I've made during that video. So yeah, that depends, but I've got the process down because the thing is, if you've got the way it used to be, is I'd really, right, I'd maybe film 4 videos. So I'd have to have 4 plans for 4 videos. Now, literally, that's my plan. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if that is too bright, but yeah, it's basically the video plan for this is how to stay consistent with content creation when you're not feeling it. Nervous system, plan for downtime, reduce friction, and then what the next bit is, I'm not going to tell you, you need to stay for that. But that is how simple my plans are. Yeah, I write it down, I do one video, film one video, edit one video, and we're good. Yeah, it gets uploaded, done. Job, done. And if I'm like that, like if I did want to film a couple, like some days for my tarot ones or my astrology ones that I've got and I've got all the information sitting in my head, I'll maybe just jot down another plan. Or if it's a tarot one where I don't really need a plan, then I'll just do that as well while we're after. So that's something I do as well. But it's all about making the whole process of everything as easy as possible. Because as soon as there's that little bit of friction where you need to then film 4 videos, then you need to edit 4 videos, which maybe at that point, what I'm talking about, my edits would have maybe taken me 2 hours per video. So that's now like a full day's work. And then I've got to upload them. I've got to schedule them. I've then got to create social media content to promote them. And then before you know it, you've got a full-time job. Yeah. So that if you reduce the friction to make it, that's overwhelming on its own. So by reducing that friction to now you're like, right, get the camera up in front of a window, speak, and then and then get it and edit it, job done. put it up, film it, put it up and schedule it. Done. Don't need to think about it now. Yeah? Can pull the wee bits out of it for social media. We're all good. But the more friction you give yourself, the harder it is to stay consistent. And the last thing is be kind to yourself. There's going to be times when you're in that nervous system shutdown and you're going to feel not good enough and you're going to feel like the world is against you, like the algorithms are against you. You're going to feel like the crickets are the only people that show up. And even then, they sometimes don't come along. And you're going to have all these horrible negative thoughts floating around in your head. Now, guaranteed, the way you would be compassionate for other people is totally different to the way you would be with yourself when you're in that I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm too sensitive, I'm this, that, and the next thing. At that point, you should be like, okay, we've got this, yeah? Take it easy. We don't have any evidence to say we're not good enough. To be fair, I think we're fucking awesome. Like, start having that little bit of dialogue with yourself and be compassionate. If that was another human being, you wouldn't turn around and say, get a grip, mate, move on. Yeah? You would be like that. Okay, let's sit and talk about this. Let's have a cuddle. Be compassionate. Because I've said this loads of times. I say this to my clients. I say this to my friends. I say this to my family. Only one person in your life that is with you from the day you are born until the day you die is your body. That should be the one relationship that is the perfect relationship. You should be the kindest all the time to that because it never leaves you. It never lets you down. But we tend to give ourselves the hardest time. We are our own hardest critic. Whereas we need to switch that to being the kindest, the caring for ourselves. Because over time, when you're kind and you're compassionate to yourself and you're not giving yourself a hard time because you weren't able to film a YouTube video, do you know what? Like today, for example, I was like, no, I'm not feeling it. No, I'm not. And I was just like, I'll do it tomorrow. One day's not going to kill me. Like, it's okay. Take a breather. We're not doing it. You don't need to do it. If you're not feeling it, you're not doing it because you're not going to create from good energy at that point. If you create from fear rather than from anywhere else, you're not going to have the best video. So it was like, no, we're not doing it. And then as the day started to go on, I started to get a little bit more movement and started to go through all the things with the nervous system. And I was like, I can do this. I've got the idea here. It takes 2 seconds to set up the camera. It takes a little bit of editing. We'll be done before dinner time. It's all good. And that's what you need to be like. I'm on a daily sprint at the moment and it's my own choice and I want to stick to it. I don't know how long I'm going to do it for. I've not decided yet, but I like it. Yeah. And it was more to get me into the habit and to see how quickly I can get this process down where we're about an hour and 2 hours at the moment, but I think we can move it down to more of an hour, which is awesome. Yeah. Which is awesome. Because then it gives me more time to do all the stuff that I want to do outside of creating videos. More time for my clients, etc. More time for me, etc. Yeah. So you're totally normal for not being able to stick consistent. You're totally normal for having them down days or having them days when you're not feeling it or when you're feeling exhausted and you can't actually bring yourself to the camera. You're totally normal and you're not alone. Yeah. I get days like that. And when I've spoken to other creators and when I've spoken to my clients, they have days like that. And yes, you can have all these plans and all these things in place. Sometimes you just don't do it. Yeah. And that's okay. But the thing is how do you recover from that? Do you sit there and give yourself shite? Or do you say there, do you know what? It's okay. Have a human day. We're good. We'll come back to this tomorrow. Nothing's been lost. It's only one day. Because the problem is with sometimes when you get too hard on yourself and your nervous system starts to contract and shut down even more, and then it's getting back on it again. After that is the hardest thing in the world because you have to go through the steps and then you have to get used to the consistency and then you need to build it into a habit again. Whereas if it's just one day, that's okay. We're all human. You can have all the best plans and systems in place to try and prevent it happening, But if it happens, it happens. Yeah. You just pick yourself back up, be kind, be compassionate, caring, and any negative self talk, just be like, listen, it's okay. What evidence do we have to suggest that? None? Well, why do we need to give it weight right now? Because I think you're bloody awesome. And just keep that. One day's not going to kill anybody. Get back on it. Get back on it when you can. And if, like I said, try and get the consistency through having the systems. Having, when you are feeling high energy, schedule. When you're feeling lower energy, if you need content, do it. If you've got content scheduled, then take the rest. Take the rest. And every one of them days is the day, and you're like, oh, I know I need to be consistent, but I'm just not feeling it. That's okay. Just remember, you're brilliant. I'm proud of you for watching this video when you're feeling like that. And you can come back tomorrow. I'm proud of you. I love you. You've done super awesome for getting this far.